At the beginning of the story we see Hinata going to live at the house of her 13 new step-brothers. On the way her pet Julie tells her that they are her step-brothers and can harm her. Outside the house, Hinata meets her 2 brothers. The name of the eldest one is Masaomi and the name of the youngest one is Wataru. Julie gets separated from Hinata in the house, and while searching for her, he is caught by 2 other brothers, Shubaru and Kaname. Then they meet another brother, Lori. Julie frees itself from their hands and runs away, then sees another brother, Tsubaki, hugging Hinata. Then another brother, Azusa, hits Tsubaki and takes him away from Hinata. Then another brother, Akio, comes there with tea, who asks both his brothers to talk to Hinata respectfully. Then another brother, Yusuke, comes there, who is surprised to see Hinata in his house as they both study in the same class. After this, another brother, Yama, comes near Hinata and kisses her hand. Then they all sit together in the room. They tell Hinata about their other pop star brother Futo, whose show is coming on TV. Suddenly Hinata starts feeling dizzy and she falls towards the table. The brother brings Hinata to her room and makes her lie down, which makes Hinata feel good. Then another brother, Louis, enters the room, who comes to Hinata and inquires about her well-being. After this, they leave the room after giving the map of the house to Hinata. Later in the night, Kaname comes to give food and drink on behalf of all the brothers. He then kisses Hinata on her cheeks, but Hinata does not mind and Kaname leaves. After this, Hinata goes to take a bath, but she finds Shubaru in the bathroom, seeing whom she gets very shy and then she runs away. Then Hinata hears Tsubaki and Azusa expressing love to each other. She starts leaving when both the brothers come from the front. Hinata tells them that she overheard both of them and expresses her support for their love. Both the brothers tell Hinata that they are both voice actors and were practicing for their upcoming work. Tina apologizes to both the brothers and the poor girl goes to her room without taking a bath. The next morning, Hinata goes to school with Yusuke on the train. Yusuke thinks in his mind that Hinata is the first girl he loves and he cannot accept her as his sister. When Hinata returns home, she finds Futo sleeping on the couch. Futo comes close to Hinata and calls her stupid. He then leaves from there. Later, Akio tells Hinata that he is preparing for Shubaru's birthday party, which is tomorrow. Akio sends Hinata to get things from the market for his birthday. Hinata sits down tiredly and starts praising Shubaru, and Shubaru overhears all these things. When Hinata comes back home, she finds Louis lying on the floor. Louis tells Hinata that he wanted to sleep on the sofa but could not reach there. Louis wants to prepare Hinata for the birthday party, and he does a great job. All the brothers appreciate Hinata's new look. Yusuke doesn't feel like eating the cake because Hinata has prepared it for Shubaru, but Shubaru is lost in Hinata's thoughts. After the party ends, Hinata realizes that she has forgotten her phone in the hall and goes to get it. All the brothers are sitting in the hall. Tsubaki asks Shubaru if he is lost in the thoughts of Hinata, but Shubaru refutes and says after Hinata's arrival, his problems have increased and he has to think many times even before taking a bath. Shubaru realizes Hinata has overhears him badmouthing her, so he comes to her room and apologizes to her. But his feet slip and he falls on Hinata and their lips touch. Poor Shubaru faints. The next day, while shopping, Hinata meets Futo. She forgets Futo is a pop star and calls his name. Futo forbids Hinata from calling his name in front of everyone, but some people come to know about him, so he leaves. To punish Hinata, Futo barges into her room and forces her to watch the movie with him. Futo comes there close to her and this makes Hinata feel a bit awkward. After this, Futo puts his hands on her cheeks and calls her cute. Futo starts getting closer to Hinata when Yusuke rings the doorbell. But as the door is open, he comes inside and sees them together. Yusuke gets very jealous and drags Futo outside. The next day there is a parent-teacher meeting at the school for which Kaname comes to Hinata and Yusuke's school. When Yusuke learns that Hinata wants to take admission in the city college, he also insists on taking admission in the same college. Later, Akio and Hinata are talking when another brother Hikaru comes there who looks exactly like a girl. He hugs Hinata and gives her her father's gift. The gift consists of shoes and a dress for Hinata for the upcoming wedding. On the day of Hinata's father's wedding, Louis asks Hinata if he can dress her. After getting ready, Hinata comes to meet her father and the mother of those 13 brothers. Hinata congratulates both of them on their marriage and both mother and daughter praise each other's beauty. After this, Hinata goes to the wedding hall where she meets another brother, Natsume. Natsume gives his business card to Hinata and tells that he owns a gaming company. Both of them start talking about games, then suddenly Natsume asks Hinata about Shubaru. Natsume tells Shubaru is not feeling well these days and he has also been removed from his team. Hinata feels that Shubaru is upset because of kissing her. When Shubaru meets Hinata, he apologizes to her for badmouthing her at his birthday party, then leaves from there. Later, Hinata and Yusuke go to watch Azusa and Tsubaki's show. After the show ends, they tell Hinata that their voice will be used in a game and they promise to give Hinata the first copy of it. Yusuke feels very jealous seeing their actions. After this, Hinata and Shubaru eat dinner together. Shubaru invites Hinata to his upcoming match and leaves from there. The next day, Hinata tries to talk to Tsubaki, but he is upset about something, so he leaves. Hinata worries for Tsubaki for a while but then sits down and starts playing the game sent by Natsume. Hinata gets emotional after being impressed by the voice acting done by Tsubaki and Azusa in the game. To ask about the game, Hinata meets Natsume in a restaurant. Suddenly Natsume gets a call from Azusa in which he tells that Tsubaki did not come home last night. Natsume tells that for some days Tsubaki was auditioning as a voice actor for a new anime. It was his dream to work in that anime, but he was not selected for that role, but his brother Azusa was selected. Then they both leave for home together. Natsume gives Hinata his muffler with his own hands, then he leaves for home. Hinata then meets Azusa, who tells her that he is quitting the role of a voice actor because he does not want to hurt Tsubaki. Tsubaki comes there and tells Azusa that he wants to see him and only him playing this role, and both the brothers hug each other. After Azusa leaves, Tsubaki asks Hinata how she likes his voice acting. When Hinata starts telling him, he comes close to Hinata and starts kissing her. Hikaru sees them kissing and seems to not like it at all. The next day Hinata goes for picnic with her brothers. After feeding everyone the chicken lollipops made by her own hands, Hinata comes to the market to buy some drinks. She meets Shubaru on the way, who helps her in carrying the goods. Seeing Hinata coming back with Shubaru, Natsume asks Hinata how she found him. Hinata tells him that she met Shubaru by chance, but Natsume keeps looking at Hinata. Next day, Natsume sees the magazine in Shubaru's hands and explains to him that he should practice for the upcoming match. But Shubaru tells him not to interfere in his matters and leaves from there. Later, when Akio and Hinata are cooking, Akio holds her hand from behind and teaches her how to cut meat. Hikaru sees both of them and accuses Akio of taking advantage of the opportunity. Julie beats up Akio on hearing this. Next day Shubaru has a basketball match which Natsume comes there to watch, and he meets Hinata there. Hinata tells him that Shubaru had invited her. Hinata starts cheering for Shubaru. The game's time starts to run out and Shubaru scores the victory at the last second, giving his team the victory. Hinata and Natsume start going back together when Natsume gets a call and goes away from Hinata. After this Shubaru comes there, who enthusiastically takes Hinata in his arms. He starts expressing his love to her, but Natsume interrupts him. Both the brothers start staring at each other and Shubaru leaves from there. Natsume asks Hinata if she loves Shubaru. Hinata is unable to answer him anything. Natsume doesn't ask anything more and gives her his jacket. Next day Futo comes to Hinata and Yusuke's school and tells them that from today he is taking admission in their school. Later, Hinata sees Futo sleeping behind the school. She tries to wake him up, but he is already awake. Futo holds Hinata close to the tree and goes to kiss her, but he stops and goes away from there. Later, everyone in the house is sitting together and talking about Futo taking admission in school. Hinata shows Futo's photo to them. Hinata wants to get those photos printed and give them to all the brothers. Masami gives him some frames for photos and also takes out his family photo album. While looking at the photo album, she finds a photo of Azusa in which he is standing alone. Azusa asks Hinata to keep that photo of him, and surprisingly Hinata also wants to keep that photo of him. Tsubaki does not like Azusa's actions. He tells Azusa that he cannot leave Hinata even for him. Next day, outside the house, Hinata sees Shubaru and Natsume arguing with each other. Natsume is telling Shubaru that he should concentrate on sports instead of Hinata. But Shubaru accuses him of pretending to care about him but saying all this to get Hinata. Then Natsume meets Hinata and gives her a new game. Hinata then sees Azusa waiting outside her room. He gives her a photo album. Hinata sits up all night excitedly looking through the album, when Tsubaki comes there, who feels jealous seeing Azusa's photo in the album. Tsubaki hugs Hinata and starts kissing her. Then he expresses his love to Hinata by making her lie down on the table and starts kissing her. Then Azusa pulls Tsubaki away from Hinata. Both the bestial brothers start arguing for Hinata in front of her. Tsubaki leaves from there angrily, and then Azusa also expresses his love for Hinata. Till now we have seen that these brothers have started fighting for Hinata, and some have even expressed their love. In the next part we will see how the rest of the brothers express their love and start fighting with each other. To know whether Hinata will express her love to one brother or will she reject all of them, do watch the next part. And comment and tell us how you liked this part. Share it with your friends and like it. Thank you for watching the video.